pair of middleweights scheduled for 10 rounds. A month ago, Toney was riding high with a 20-0 record and 15 knockouts. Then he ran into a fellow out of Cleveland named Sanderline Williams. It was a grueling battle, and it wound up in a draw. A setback for Toney's career, to be sure. How devastating, no one yet knows. But it does require some recovery time. We talked to James Toney about getting over that disappointment.
Reset from that?
No, it wasn't the fact that I was, down from the fight. I know I won the fight fair and square, but the judges got, like I said, the judges, they seen something different. And I learned how to bounce back from it. I'm ready to go on and forget about Sanderline Williams for now.
That's a pretty mature philosophical perspective, really, because, recognizing there's nothing you can do about what the judges do.
I know that.
But, a lot of guys don't look at it that way. Have you thought about that before last month? Just dealing with judges and what they might do?
Well, basically, I thought the judges, they could have been more lenient towards my way, because I was doing a lot of things, in the ring that, most fighters don't do. I was, even though I was backing up, I was scoring well with punches to the bottom of the head, and I guess they thought he was being aggressive because he came forward. And, like I said, the judges, they see it a different way.
Do you feel, and I know you keep track of your career and the public relations and the marketing part of it, you're aware of that. Do you feel that that particular night hurt your progression and your national image and perhaps a chance at another belt, another step up?
No, I don't see it. It didn't hurt me at all, I don't think. If you ask somebody else, maybe. But, I don't care what anybody else thinks. One thing I can tell you, that I'm ready to go on, start my career right over again. Just go ahead and take care of business. Whoever gets in the way, they got to pay for it.
But this time it's a fellow named Kevin. What do you know about him?
Don't know nothing about him.
Yeah.
Only thing I can tell you, he's going to sleep early tomorrow.
Chris McClure along with Rich Fisher. We're at the Hyatt Regency in Dearborn and looking forward to 10 rounds in the middleweight division. James Toney and Kevin Brazier. Ought to be, Rich, a solid bout.
Well, Chris, Kevin Brazier's been around. He's 32 years of age. And I got to tell you something. James Toney in that interview said that he doesn't know anything about him. I'm not so sure that's true. I think every fighter, and I never believe that, every fighter knows who he's fighting. They've seen some tape. They know about him. James Toney better be ready for this guy tonight.
I think, given what happened a month ago, he absolutely has to, because he really, in this fight, when you look at the matchup, he doesn't have anything to gain, really, except confidence, perhaps. He's got everything to lose should he mess it up.
Absolutely everything to lose in this fight. And James Toney's a young man. He's only 22 years of age. A loss would not be devastating to his career, but it would be a big setback. As you mentioned before, we got to see where he really is mentally. In your interview with him, he kept saying he's put it behind him. Sometimes that's easier said than done. We're going to find out in a few moments.
The fighters have made their way to the ring, and Wally Jackson is standing by to introduce them to us.
And now, boxing fans, fight night at the Hyatt brings us to 10 rounds in the middleweight division. Our referee is Sam Williams. Introducing first, in the blue corner, weighed in at 162 pounds. As a professional, he has 11 wins, 8 losses, with 6 wins by knockout. From South Bend, Indiana, here is Kevin Brazier. And his opponent in the red corner, weighed in at 163 pounds. He is undefeated as a professional, 20 wins, 1 draw, 15 wins by knockout. Tonight is also his 22nd birthday on his 22nd fight. From Ann Arbor, Michigan, here is the IBC and Michigan State middleweight champion. I give you James Lights Out Toney.
Popular man in these parts, James Toney. The fighters make their way to the center. The referees for this card tonight, Sam Williams and Bob Fisher. Williams working this one. The timekeeper, Ken Pace. Counter of knockdowns, William Hunter, and the judges, Frank Barbarish, Charlene White, and Dario Chironi. The physician standing by at ringside, Sal Shapiro, Jules Reinhardt, and the announcer in the ring is Wally Jackson. Inspectors on hand from the Michigan State Board of Athletic Control, John Jackson, John Kuzemka, and Hilmer Kenty. And Rose Grable and Jim Birch are commission members at ringside. 10 rounds. I don't know if it'll make it. James Toney promised a knockout. Right?
I was just going to say, don't leave your seats right now.
I think James wants to take this out with dispatch.
Look at this.
I'm not sure where that souvenir came from. Brazier, the quickest to the center of the ring. He's 11-5, hails from South Bend, Indiana. Fairly skilled fellow, had something of a checkered career. Began back in the early 80s, fought for a couple of years and took a terrible beating in a knockout and laid off a season. He's fought considerably since then, but in several instances we're told, as Toney tries to work the body with a couple of combinations, we're told, Rich, you know, he got in against guys he shouldn't have been against, and it really took away a lot of his confidence, maybe ruined his career from a national perspective.
Well, you know, he has a brother that's been a fighter and a champion, and a lot of times it's very difficult following in your brother's footsteps, especially if he is successful. You want to try and be as successful as he can much faster. So the pressure could have been on him, and he took some fights maybe he shouldn't have earlier in his career.
The defense of Brazier in the early going, he's got to keep his elbows in. Toney's working on the arms, trying to get to the body, counter-punching for Brazier, and it scores a couple of points right there. Toney spins him around and delivers a couple of blows, and they separate. Toney quicker. Toney carrying a left hand down low. Defensively, I'm continually more and more curious about that on behalf of Toney. I don't like that technique, Rich. I think you're too open when your left hand defensively is down around your belt or the thigh, where it is now.
I don't like that either, Chris. And you know who made that popular is Thomas Hearns, who's been very, very successful with it. But, hey, not everybody's the hitman.
Not everybody has that eye-hand coordination and the hand speed to react when it really becomes necessary and play defense from down there.
Well, Toney seems very confident here in this first round.
Fighting a little flat-footed. Counter-punch right hand to the chin. Brazier hurt. That stung. Now Toney needs to move in. He's trying. Brazier has enough fights to understand about covering up. That was a good, stiff, short, chopping right hand. Came almost at a three-quarter angle. Not quite an uppercut.
Yeah, Toney's showing me something there too, Chris. He did not go in for the kill. He did not get wild. Didn't get crazy.
Control.
That's very important.
You know, I think another right hand counter. It's wide open for him, and Toney scored with it twice. That may carry the round for him, if nothing else.
Well, it should. More of a grazing right hand punch on that one. But he is getting through the defense. Brazier for sure with his jabs.
There's a counter right from Brazier. Again to the body, but nothing really well enough placed. And we're down toward the end of round number one. James Toney and Kevin Brazier. 3 minutes are done. Round to Toney? I think so.
I think so too, Chris. You said it, though. You know, Toney is keeping that left hand down, and he's getting hit a lot more with the jab than I'm sure his handlers want. So he's going to have to bring that left hand up, and he's going to have to work a little more on his defense if he expects to fight fighters a better quality than Brazier.
Well, I think it hurt him last month. He didn't do it as much against Sanderline, but he did it in the late rounds. And against a guy who's a late rounds fighter, it hurt him. It cost him what I thought at the time it cost him the fight. There were some people that thought that Sanderline won clearly. Other people thought the other way. I'm among those, but I really didn't expect a draw from it.
No, not from a Sanderline Williams who was just knocked out recently at the Palace. So here we're seeing the good counterpunch here with Toney, and that was right on the money, Chris. So Brazier's going to have to watch out for those right hands of James Toney, who can punch. There's no doubt about that.
Continually getting better, and I think a new measure of maturity, not just because of what happened against Sanderline Williams. And here comes Brazier. He wants to start fast. That's a trip. There will be no count. Sam Williams moves in to clean the gloves, get any rosin or foreign matter that might be there. Brazier scores with a left hand to the chin of Toney. And Brazier continues to be the aggressor. Not particularly classy looking combinations, but some of that stuff is getting through. Toney regrouping right now. He lost the first little bit of round number one, doing the same here in round number 2.
Well, Brazier slowing down a little bit now. I think he was trying to catch Toney off guard a little bit by coming out so fast. It didn't work.
Well, he may have already decided he's not going to win the second half of any given round, so he might as well get his shots in while he can and hope for the best before he gets a little bit weary.
Also, he is 32 years of age, and he knows that if the bout goes long, well, he got hit there with a good left. If the bout goes longer, it's going to be in favor of Toney because he's 10 years younger.
Toney climbing the ladder with left hook to the ribs, up on the shoulder, and then one to the jaw. The left-right combination. Missed there by Brazier off the ropes.
Toney is hurting Brazier every time he hits him now. And this is only the second round.
His punches have good authority. He has a good knockout record. Prior to the Williams fight a month ago, he had a 5 knockout string. There's a good combination. Driving the hands of Brazier right into his own face.
That's got to tell you how strong James Toney is and how hard he is punching.
Well, as compared to physical specimens, we thought Toney had a definite advantage. Brazier is very hurt now.
Yeah, he's very weary. He's ready to go.
Uppercut to the sternum.
Oh,
there's a body shot. That may do it. The body shot was the telling blow to finish off a flurry. Brazier down. First time he's been down in the bout. He'll take the full count and I think pop up when Sam gets to 8. He's at 7 now. There's 8. But he's still in trouble.
Well, he's hurt, no doubt about it. We'll see what kind of a finisher Toney is right now. There goes the mouthpiece, and that was a big punch. That's it.
So a TKO in the second round. There was some good work to the face, a couple of right counter punches that were telling blows and set the man up. He climbed the ladders with a series of lefts about 30 seconds prior to the big body blow that led to the first knockdown, and from there it was just a matter of time, Rich.
Well, you got to wonder if Brazier was in shape for this fight, Chris, because he came out and he looked like he was going for everything in the first opening seconds of that round. You have to wonder if he knew that there's no way he was going to go 10, and if he was going to win this fight, he was going to have to do it right there and then because it wasn't going to go much longer.
Well, he does work a full-time job. This isn't his primary occupation, and that does create a problem when you don't have it 100% committed to the boxing game. That was the first knockdown and a good solid body shot, and this is what finished it off.
There it is.
There's the left hook right across the eye, and there wasn't much left, but that took the remainder out of the man, and Brazier went down, and Sam Williams, I think, judiciously and properly stepped in and said he's defenseless now. That's it.
We talk so much about body shots, and I tell you, Brazier got hit with a vicious body shot by James Toney.
Our referee, Sam Williams, stops this contest at 2 minutes, 21 seconds of the second round on his 22nd birthday with a TKO. Let's hear it for James Lights Out Toney.
Okay, so James Toney is the winner here in the second round. A middleweight fight between Kevin Brazier and James Toney, a knockout victory. Not too surprising. Let's go up now to the ring with my partner, Chris McClure, who is talking with the winner, James Lights Out Toney. Chris?
And James, hold that up again, James. As he gets congratulations from Kevin Brazier, he said, make sure you take a picture of that tomorrow night after I knock him out. And you really were intent on an early knockout,
Oh,
weren't
yeah, I had to, come off that little fight I had last month. And I knew I had to come back and look impressive in this, my fight back. And this is a tune-up to something bigger and better. And all them fighters, all them so-called champions out there, I'm coming for them. I'm taking all their belts by the end of next year.
Do you think in the first round, when you hit him with a right hand counter that was really perfect to the chin, did that set up what happened in the second? Did you get the setup on your man that early?
Well, I couldn't get up, get as sharp as I wanted to because I had that much time to warm up in the locker room. So it took me a little bit longer than expected. But I thought I did pretty good. Come out, hit him with a counter right hand. He was wide open for it. My manager came back in the second round. They said he was wide open for overhand right. So I was just throwing it, and then I just caught him. Then I had to get him out of there.
And the body shot for the first knockdown, that was a big shot.
He hurt. He felt it. He like grunt real bad, real loud. He's just another one to fall under the Mac attack. So it's coming on, ready to go. Got it going on, ready to get all of them out there.
James Toney, a winner, and obviously
Lights out,
pretty
baby.
happy.